Hey tribe, Dawna here with Transformational Healing, and today I'm going to share with you some of my favorite books that are shamanic in nature, meaning that they help you to perhaps learn shamanic techniques or history of where different ideas come from, or perhaps they just help you to connect a little bit more with nature and the things that surround us, which is part of using those shamanic energies. We're going to dive right in. So the first book that I recommend is called The Medicine Way, and it's by Kenneth Meadows. So this book is about learning how to explore and understand life. It's about using medicine in all fashions. So it may be some of the Native American shamanic traditions that he pulls out, but he also has things about Asia and Europe and other parts of Scandinavia. So he's looking more towards the tribal connections in different ways and how they viewed the word medicine and what medicine really is. He helps you to connect with nature and gives exercises and how to use and work with the energies around you so that you can manifest and create a world in which you can smoothly work. He also talks a lot about mindfulness and mindset and living a fulfilling life being connected to nature. So this is a really good book. You might want to check it out. It is kind of a handbook, so it gives you different things to do, talks about power centers and attributes of the different directions and things like that. It goes through the medicine wheel, talks about the powers and some of the symbolism and things like that. So it's an interesting introduction to a different way of thinking about connecting with nature. And by the way, in case I forgot to say this at the beginning of the video, I'm getting absolutely nothing from anyone for recommending any of these books. There's no affiliate links anywhere. So the next book that I was introduced to is called In the Shadow of the Shaman. And this is really about connecting and really connecting with nature, learning to work with the symbologies, to do all the stuff, and to help that to go deep within and to do your own healing work. It's really about connecting to yourself. So this one is by Amber Wolf, and I just really connected with this book. It basically gives you techniques and exercises and meditations and rituals, and you learn how to attune yourself to your higher self for self-healing and self-empowerment. And it really does help you to do a lot of the shadow work and to pay attention to the world around you. So it takes what was in this book that you learned and expands on it so much more to work on yourself, which is what shamanic techniques are meant to do, to help you to be connected to nature, connected to the mother, because that's why we're here, and connected to source and work on your stuff. That's why I like this book. And along those realms, if you are looking to do more on the shamanic healing, and it has stuff for working on yourself in this book. This book is by Kristen Madden. It is called The Book of Shamanic Healing. Now, this helps you to create sacred space, to work with your drum, to do all the different things, to find your voice, to find your song, to explore your shadow side, and do all the work that really needs to get done. And Kristen is an amazing teacher. I've actually met her in person years ago and was able to take some classes with her. I really like her approach, And this book was life-changing for me many, many years ago. So if you're looking for something a little bit more simple to just help you to pay attention to nature and the things around you, and you want to start paying attention to perhaps messages that you can receive by seeing different things, this book by Ted Andrews. Ted was a wonderful, intuitive person who had just a jolly and a great spirit. And his book, Animal Speak, he also has some others, Animal Wise, and some books and cards and all kinds of things to go with that. But this Animal Speak book is a great introduction book to being able to look at what you see around you and then to connect it to the messages that might be coming your way. It helps us to learn from our animal friends and even insects and things like that. So he does talk about spirit animals. I refer to them as spirit guides. I do not like to take the words like totems and things. They do not mean what you think they mean. Be very careful about how you phrase how you're working with your guides. They're communication. They're helping you along your path, but be very careful of the language that you are using when you are speaking. It's very important. And no matter where you come from, we pay attention to the animals that are around us. And there's different stories in this book that will help you to learn some of the different mythologies about those animals. If the type of shamanic work that you want to do is more of an Afro-Caribbean basis, and you want to learn about the different Afro-Caribbean religions and how they have come here, how they are the same, how they are different, how each types of those pantheons work when it comes to things like Yoruba and Ifa, Santeria, and Voodoo, Vodou. This is the best book that I have seen. And Lilith Dorsey is a dear friend, but I very, very highly recommend this book. It explained everything very clearly about how each of the different paths in Afro-Caribbean paganism work. And a lot of these paths are shamanic in nature. So that's why I wanted to include it in this. So it is a great book if you are looking to find a path to connect to your roots, because they are your roots. Then this may be a good book to help you to figure out which path and how to go about finding people that are on that path to work with in a safe way. All of these paths here are not typically solo paths. There are houses and different lineages that you need to find to work with. There are small things that you can do as a solo practitioner to honor things, and she talks about some of that in here too. So it's really important to understand what you're doing. Those are the books that I recommend for people who are beginning, people who are starting to search and look for what shamanism is. Now, shamanism itself is a term that necessarily refers to some exact specific things. So a lot of people talk about Aquarian shamanism or New Age shamanism or post-tribal shamanism. Ken Day has come up with the post-tribal shamanism, and I think that that is a great way to look at it. Because those of us who work with shamanic techniques, I do not call myself a shaman. I use shamanic techniques. I use shamanic healing. It has been passed on to me. I have learned from several different teachers, but very strong lineages. And those techniques and those ways of working on things are all about being mindful, paying attention to the world around you, connecting to the all. We are all one. and being able to go inside and do your work. It's about energy. It's about being here and being now, not living in the past, not focusing on the future, and paying attention to everything around you and the techniques that we can use to work with that energy and the prayers that we may use to work with those energies. Those are the things that have been passed down to me. Those are things that you can also get tastes of when you read books like these books that I have recommended. Several of these authors I have actually met, or I know, or I've taken classes with, and they are good people to work with, and I trust that they come from a good place in their hearts. There are lots and lots of other books out there about shamanic information, and some of them may be good too. There could be new books out there. There's lots and lots of books. But these are 5 that I recommend that I have worked with myself along with the teachers that I've worked with, and I hope that perhaps that they can help you. I'm sure that you'll be able to find most of them out and about. I do think that Lilith just put out a new copy of her book, so that one should be available on Amazon, but the cover may look different than that. Next Thursday, I'm going to talk about some of the herbal books that I use or have used in the past as reference books for both medicinal herbs and magical herbs. So I hope that you look forward to seeing that on Thursday. And if you missed out on the live chat last Sunday, you should go check it out. We talked about knowledge and how our beliefs change as we learn things and we see things from a new perspective over time. And I also shared an experience of mine about going to Salem, Massachusetts on Samhain way back in the 90s. So I hope that you enjoy all those things, and I will see you on Thursday. Many blessings, tribe. See you real soon.